Good morning, and welcome to another round of Saturdays with Stephanie. So, can I be honest? I am tired. I feel so exhausted. Anyone else out there tired? I don't sleep well as a rule anyway. It's just never been easy for me. Sometimes I have trouble falling asleep at night. A lot of times I wake up really early and can't get back to sleep. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and it takes me a while to get back to sleep. Thankfully, in recent years, I've found the ability to take naps occasionally during the day if I'm really tired. But for a long time, most of the years growing up, even into my 20s and 30s, I could not fall asleep during the day unless I was really, really sick. So it was really just frustrating. And it's always been frustrating trying to get enough sleep, trying to get enough rest. And I've found too that sometimes worrying about things, stressing about things, my mind starts going and I have so much trouble being able to sleep. I've had to learn not to watch scary movies because then I can't sleep because I'm listening to noises and getting freaked out about all of those things. And as a kid, I would even get scared during the night. It would just kind of happen for me, worrying about maybe if I was staying at my grandma's house and couldn't see clearly because I didn't have a nightlight, maybe because my parents weren't home and I was staying with a babysitter, all those kinds of things. Any of the kids out there feel that way sometimes too? Good, so I'm not the only one. Well, I wanted to introduce you to somebody. This is a doll that I've had for as long as I can remember. And I'm going to tell you her name in just a minute because it's kind of a funny name, but there's a story as to why that's her name. So, this doll was given to me by my grandma when I was staying at her house. And it got to be bedtime, and so she tucked me into bed, and she picked up the doll, and she said, you know what? I'm going to put her over here in this corner, and she can watch out for you all night long. So you know what I ended up naming her? Her name is Corner. I don't know if I thought that it meant that that was her name when Grandma put her in the corner or what it was, but for whatever reason, that was her name, and it has been all this time. And I've had her for as long as I can remember. She's the first toy I ever remember having. And the thing is, yeah, it was really nice having her. Maybe you have a stuffed animal or a doll or a blanket that you sleep with every night. Maybe it makes you feel safe and secure. And that's okay. For those of you who are married, maybe having your spouse in the bed next to you helps. For those of you with siblings, maybe sometimes you share a bedroom with your brother or your sister. Maybe you do that every night. I don't know. Maybe sometimes when you get scared, you go into mom and dad's bedroom. I know if I didn't feel good, a lot of times I would sleep on the floor of my parents' bedroom. But you know, maybe there's different ways that make you feel safe and secure and you can sleep a little bit better. I want to share with you, well, first of all, I want to share with you a psalm that I've found is really helpful. But before I do that, I wanted to talk to you too just about all of this being tired business. Did you know that God even took the time to rest? When we read about the story of creation in the Bible, it talks about God creating the world in 6 days. But on the seventh day, it says that he rested. Now, it doesn't say that he slept, but it does say that he rested. And he took that time to rest, and he gave us that gift and said, you know what? It's good for you to rest too. And so when he gave us the 10 Commandments, one of them that he gave was to take the time to rest. Now, the old way of doing it before Jesus came was to always do that on a Saturday. That was part of the Jewish calendar. They would spend their Sabbath day, that's what they'd call it, resting. Now, for us, as Christians, we celebrate the resurrection of Easter by worshiping every Sunday, and that's part of our rest. So maybe Sunday as a day of rest really works for you. Maybe today, being Saturday, as a day of rest really works for you. Some houses have Saturdays as a slower schedule where you get to sleep in a little bit later, and maybe watch a movie or relax. Maybe that's how Sundays work for you, where after church you get to take some time to just rest and know that Jesus is watching out for you. Whatever that looks like. For some houses, maybe the weekends don't work at all and they'll pick a different day to rest. Did you know Pastor Travis and I, we usually pick Fridays as our day when schedules are normal, which they are so not normal right now. We've taken Fridays as a day off for a really long time, and we've always tried to use it as a day to rest and relax. Sometimes it's Saturday, sometimes it's on a Monday, especially after we've had a really busy time. But whatever it might look like, we want to take time for extra sleep, for extra relaxing, for enjoying time in nature, for enjoying time with our dog and each other, maybe spending time with friends. Now, right now, we can't get together with friends, but we can call them on the phone and talk to them. We can do video chats. We can watch videos like this one or other kinds of things. We can watch nice movies or TV, anything that brings us rest and relaxation. We try to do those things at least once a week because you know what? If God did it, we probably need to also. So I wanted to share with you, yes, God rested, but we know from the Bible that God, the Father, does not sleep. He watches over us all the time. Just like my doll here, just like Corner, she watched over me all night that night. Well, guess what? God watches over us every single night, no matter what. And this is from Psalm 121. I lift up my eyes to the hills. From where does my help come? My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will not let your foot be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. Behold, he who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade on your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time forth and forevermore. I love that. The Lord is your keeper. He who watches over Israel. And Israel, when you see that in the Psalms, when it says that God is watching out for Israel, that's really talking about his people. At the time when the Psalms were written, his people were the people of Israel. But now, today, we know that that even means us. He watches over us all night, every night. Whenever we're sleeping, whenever we're resting, we don't need to worry because we know he is taking care of us no matter what. So I encourage you, if you have time today or maybe tomorrow, to take some time to rest. So much of what we're trying to do right now, it feels busy and there's homework to be done, there's work to be done, there's housework to be done, whatever that is. But we all need to take time to rest. So I encourage you to find that. If you need to pull out a doll or a stuffed animal or a favorite blanket, maybe you have a favorite pillow or sheets that just feel so good. Maybe you have a favorite spot to take a nap. Maybe you have a really relaxing movie that you love to watch. Whatever it is, take time to do that, knowing that God is in control and he's watching out for you. And you can rest assured in his hands because he will never, ever let you go. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you next time.